find. Glad to see that I could help make your life a bit easier. But have you ever thought of how I felt? You need to think about your behavior.
Well, it's Tuesday. Welcome back from a long weekend. This is Butch On Sports. Simply Butch is here, and as always, thanks for tuning in. Indeed, hopefully you had a great weekend. I did. How about you? We'll give you some sports news that you can't get enough of. Let's have at it with some goodies here. The Detroit Lions will look to win their third consecutive game with a matchup against the Seattle Seahawks. Sunday's contest will be the first time the two teams have met since the regular season, since Detroit traveled to Seattle in 2015. And you all have great memory, boys and girls. You know what happened in that particular game here. I'm not going to tell you. Oh, maybe I will, because that was a game that I did go to in Seattle on vacation. The Lions should have won. Just plain and simple. Just I don't want to go. I don't want to go through the residuals of that one there. The Lions should have won. The Seahawks lead the all-time series between the two clubs with a 8-5-0 advantage. The Detroit Lions 32-21 win against the Miami Dolphins at Hard Rock Stadium this past Sunday was a goodie indeed. Starting the game with a temperature of 89 degrees on the field, about 100 and something. And where the Lions were sitting, there was no shade. So they made homemade tents, boys and girls, just like we used to do when we were kids. It was one of the hottest games that the Lions had in history there. Scored touchdowns in their first possession. That's the first time in a long time the Lions have done that. And showed that they had some decency in the red zone there. Miami's streak of 13 consecutive games without allowing the opening drive touchdown, that was broken. A recorded 248 yards rushing was the Detroit Lions build there. I love that particular stat there. 248 yards rushing. That's the most that's logged in since the 249 yards rushing against Indianapolis in November of the 23rd in 1997. That's a long time. They finished the game with an average of 7.1 rushing yards on 35 carries. Get it, boys and girls. 35 carries in that particular game against Miami. That was something that I liked very much so. Last time the Lions averaged at least 7 yards per carry was November 24th, 1991. That was a long time ago, too. Running back Kerryon Johnson, he finished the day with a career 19 attempts for 158 yards. That's an average of 8.3 yards rushing. Incredible. At 2 receptions for 21 yards, he finished the day with 179 yards from scrimmage. That was a goodie, too. Hey, I have more. Finished the day with, we're talking about Matthew Stafford there. He finished the day 18 of 22 of passing for 217 yards, 2 touchdowns, a passing rating of 138.1. Don't even get any better than that one. LeGarrette Blount, the other running back there, he recorded 10 carries for 50 yards. That's an average of 5.0. Anything over 4 is good. 5.0 is magnificent. And he also had 1 touchdown. His 50 yards rushing, that's the most he's carried as the Lions. So We're looking for better and better from LeGarrette Blount, and it's going to have it too. Talk about some defense there. Ricky Jean Franco, he finished with 4 tackles, 3 solo, and 2 sacks. Finished the team's leading 4 receptions. Was Tate, the receiver, 36 yards, and also he ran for 30 yards on 1 rush. That was the longest of his career. Jared Davis, another defensive linebacker there, he finished the game with a team-high 7 tackles, 6 solo, 1 sack. Davis now has 3 sacks this season. That's a career high. Hey, only can get better. The first 7 weeks of the season, let me let you know, 25 teams in the NFL have at least 3 wins. 5 teams, and I'll mention them: Kansas City, Los Angeles Chargers, Los Angeles Rams. Los Angeles is happy. Boy, boy, oh boy. New England Patriots and also the New Orleans Saints at least have 5 wins this season. That's something to look forward to. We're talking about parity. Since 1990, when the current 12-team playoff format was adapted, 80% or 256 of the previous teams that started 5-2 or better advanced to the postseason, including 8 of the 9 teams to begin with a season of 5-2 or better in 2017. I'm just giving you some facts here, boys and girls. So the Lions got some work to do, but the teams with 5 victories or more, they're sitting in the catbird seat right now. So we can look at those teams, maybe pencil those particular teams in for playoff ramifications at the end of the season. We'll see how true that particular stat can land. I'll see. I'll know. Let's talk about the Detroit Red Wings. Today, the team assigned defenseman Philippe Horodnick, to the American Hockey League Grand Rapids Griffin. Horodnick, 20 years old, has skated in 6 Red Wing games during the 2018-19 campaign, including his NHL debut during the team's home opener on October 4th against the Columbus Blue Jackets. 6 foot, 170-pound rookie. He logged 3 points. He got a goal and 2 assists. However, that last game they played, we're talking about Carolina last night, was the straw that broke the camel's back. They sent him back for some seasoning. He did not play very well at all. It was not impressive to Jeff Blashill. He made it very clear and doing the post game, not individual-wise, pointing him out or singling him out, but he was not happy with the team's performance last night at Little Caesars Arena. Indeed, he was not. With that 3-1 loss, Carolina Hurricanes at Little Caesars Arena on Monday night, the Red Wings are now 1-6-2, sitting dead last in the NHL standings. Among the team's issues, as one of them is they got to put the puck in the back of the net. Or in the net, whatever you want to, prescribe to say first in the deal here. The first 9 games, they scored 20 goals. Now, you put that all in perspective here, you're looking at the Washington Capitals and Toronto Maple Leafs. Those are just 2 teams. In the first 4 games, just scored 20 goals or more. So we know what kind of problems the Red Wings have when it comes down to scoring. The defense is looking pretty stellar as far as getting better as I've seen in years past. I mentioned that several times there. It can be better. It can be better. They're laying out for more block shots. They're protecting the goaltender a lot better. They're getting a lot more physical when people are racking around the net, and that's cool. But you got to score some goals to help the goaltender feel more comfortable. And you score first or a couple goals first, it kind of put the other team on its heels there, and they got to do things that they don't want to do versus things they are doing because they do lead and make it very hard and difficult for you to score. Nicholas Cromwell, who played last night, he said it best. It's the madness, what we're doing to ourselves. Carolina's a good team, but when we don't even play, it's tough to give yourself a chance. And he was very blunt about it because, people get tired of asking about the Wings' ability because you're young and this and that and the other. And right now, Jeff Bledsoe, along with veteran Nicholas Cromwell, says, hey, look, that doesn't make a bit of difference right now. We're playing just wrong. We're playing just not, we're not getting it done. And the honesty is good there, but, I guess today's move of a rookie going back to Grand Rapids mean, like I said before, and I said last week, we're going to see a revolving doors of people come up and down the system. As things go wrong, they're going to find players who's going to try to want to get on down here and want to stay in Detroit permanently here. So there's a lot of room in Grand Rapids for players to do good, to be able to get a chance to come down here to the major league of hockey. And if you don't go do while you're here right now in the NHL, you can be sent back packing. So I think that was a huge message to all the players on the team, including the rookies, that your stay is not permanent if you just don't do what you're supposed to be doing here. Red Wings, again, they got to learn how to put the puck in the net. They got to take advantage of chances. Yesterday, in the first period, the Hurricanes had an advantage of 13 shots on goal versus the Detroit Red Wings 1. I'm just saying. My. Oh, hey, World Series ramifications are going on right now here. And right now the score in the fourth inning here is Boston is leading the Los Angeles Dodgers by a score of 3-2. Kershaw, Sales for Boston is pitching. Kershaw for Los Angeles Dodgers. Okay. Get that out of the way, and we'll keep you abreast while we're doing this podcast here entitled Butch On Sports. Okay. If you watch wrestling, and I just got off the doing the program, The Game last night with Scott Nathan, E.J. Russell, Dave McKay, and a host of thousands. We just got off the air. We're around about in the area of 5 after 8 here. And I cut on wrestling, and I see Roman Reigns standing in the ring. And I must have just cut it on in the nick of time to hear the news that everyone is talking about, who are wrestling fans or non-wrestling fans. He started off giving the name, he's living the life of a lie. His real name is Joe Anoa'i, okay? He revealed that he's taking a leave of absence as he's battling leukemia, which was a shocker to me because no one knew. The stunning announcement opened Raw. Anoa'i revealed that he had battled the disease in the past, and he had when he was at school at Georgia Tech University. And you don't know, he was a teammate past Lions great Calvin Johnson. So, if you want to look up the stats or look up the team that was filled from Georgia Tech, Calvin Johnson and him was on the same team. Okoye was the biggest stars in the WWE, or as we call him now, Roman Reigns, revealed due to his health, he would be relinquishing his Universal Championship, which he was set to defend in a triple threat match against Brock Lesnar and Braun Strowman at Crown Jewels, an event that was set to take place next month, the 2nd of November, I do believe, no, the 3rd of November, 2nd or 3rd of November in Saudi Arabia. Again, he said, gave him his real name. He said he's been living with leukemia for 11 years. Unfortunately, it's back. And because leukemia is back, he cannot fill his role. He cannot be a fighting champion. And I said I would be. That's what he announced. The crowd, which normally gives him heavily boos to the former Georgia Tech football star and great wrestling great, gave Roman Reigns a emotional ovation and chanting "Thank you, Roman" during the announcement. Then Roman Reigns, who laid his championship belt down the center of the ring, and he was joined by his stablemates Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, who made his teary-eyed departure. Seth Rollins was very much so in tears as well. Dean Ambrose, I know he was upset, but he seemed the only one that kept it together there during the point in time of that emotional announcement. Roman Reigns is only 33 years old. His previous bout with cancer ended his football career. However, he vowed to return to the WWE. He said, "I want to make one thing clear. By no means this is a retirement speech, because after I'm done beating leukemia, once again, he had an expert in that particular there. I'm not going to mention it, but he's coming back home." And that was a good thing indeed. We give Roman Reigns, Joe Anoa'i, my prayers, and hopefully others would do the same, and he can get back in the ring as quickly as possible. He has entertained many of us deeply with his antics as a Shield and as an individual wrestler, and he comes from a long line. As I mentioned, all the cousins and uncles and aunts who've been in this business. Oh boy, it's ridiculous there, and it's something special there, indeed. There, a huge wrestling family, indeed, and I'm quite sure that family will back Roman to the hills to get him as stay positive as he can be in order to beat leukemia. Again, our prayers are with Roman Reigns there. Now, the 44th annual MHSAA football playoffs will begin on Friday and Saturday, boys and girls. That's October 26th and 27th. You can check out the football page at the MHSAA website for the qualifiers of that particular brouhaha for the next week. This is the pre-districts that goes into the districts, and next week we'll find winners to the district to move on to the regionals, to the regionals, to the quarters, to the quarters, to the semis, to the semis, to the finals at Ford Field right after you slice the turkey. Or maybe before. Who knows? Also, I might mention the boys soccer tournament for the Lower Peninsula Regionals has begun today, and they'll be running through Saturday. So that is something that we'll keep our eyes and ears looking out for, and you can check out the interaction page on the website as well for that particular one there. Cross country regionals. Those particular regionals will be conducted on Friday and Saturday. Girls volleyball, their district will start next week, so there's a lot of high school finals and goodies and playoffs to be had, so please get out there and support those young kids. They can be doing a whole heck of a lot of things they got no business doing, but they're doing something great. Hey, get out there and support them in your neck of the woods, please. Get out there and support our children there. I mentioned football per se here, and a lot of downriver teams that made it there, and there were some teams, a lot of teams I saw in, I'm talking about the 11 player. Not only the 8 player, not only the 8 players, you got some 5 and 4s, and maybe some 4 and 4s knocked on in there, but the 11 players, this is the most I've seen in a long time of 5 and 4s being used to fill in the rosters for the playoffs of football. And it's going to be magnificent. Also, I saw and I noticed very much so that the competition right now is a lot more tougher. There's some teams that got moved up from maybe a Class C to Class B to an A, and so on and so forth. Very few of them got moved down. However, they're making it more tougher for it, and I salute the Michigan High School Athletic Association for making sure parity counts for something. I use River Rouge as an example. They started their season playing Cass Tech, which is a powerhouse team. They lost very bad. However, they won their last 7 games. okay, or the last 8 maybe. But they'll receive only the game on the road playing Martin Luther King. And the reason being because the weakness of schedule in that particular league that they're in. Ecourse is in the same league, and they also had a pretty doggone good record of, I do believe, 8-1. They also will be on the road because of the weakness of the schedule. So when you play another team of some strength, you gotta win those particular games, or it's gonna hurt you in the long run because of how many games you win. And that was a proven statement when I looked at the particulars, this particular pass there. Now, finally, before we go out off the air, the World Series, and I've been to several of them there, not where I had to pay for anything. I'm a lucky guy. But the ones who do, tickets can be pretty expensive going to playoffs and World Series there. Now, let's make some examples here. For a mere game one, if you want to sit underneath the scoreboard, that's way out at Fenway Park, you can get a ticket for as low as $344. You'll be sitting underneath the scoreboard in the upper bleachers. The lowest price ticket for game 2 is $374 for that same area. I'm repeating myself, but I have a reason to here. Boy, now for game 2, like I said, it's $374. Now you go to the Dodgers game, which is upcoming in game 3. A faraway ticket in the bleachers, way far away, is $660. Game 4 upcoming is $801. Of course, the more expensive game is the game 6 and 7, which can run you up to $1,000. Maybe if you want to sit next to the dugout or something, and lucky enough to get one of those particular, you'll be spending about $10,000 a ticket. And while we're talking about tickets right now, it's the bottom of the fourth right now, and Boston is leading 3-2. 3-2. Yes. Well, I've done my job. And that's the end of this edition of Butch On Sports here. I'm trying to do it here. I'm going to watch the rest of wrestling, whatever I can do, and maybe watch some more of the baseball game and have at it with that there. We will be on Tuesday. Also this week on Friday and Saturday. Okay? Well, those are the days we will be on this week. Butch On Sports is a presentation of Oh My Darling Productions. You can catch Butch On Sports on Facebook. Just type in Butch On Sports on Facebook and go right there, and you can play the whole rampant of shows that we have there. And also, you can go to the game show, .com, with Scott Nason, Dave McKay, E.J. Russell, and the slew of shows are on that particular website as well. And also the game show.popbean.com. You can also get the show there with, again, those slew of those particular people I just mentioned, as well as you can go to iTunes, Boys and Girls. And yes, YouTube now has our shows spatted up there and here. So, hey, you got some choices here. Again, Friday will be the day we'll be back for Butch On Sports here. Have a great, great week here, and catch you on the rebound on Friday. Again, Butch On Sports is a presentation of Oh My Darling Productions.